So, we were talking about Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny, the biggest box office bomb in history. But we're talking about the other movie that released this week. So, there was this movie called Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. I don't know if you heard it before, but really no one went to go see this movie. It is the worst opening for DreamWorks ever. Maybe this might convince DreamWorks and animation as a whole to abandon the beanmouth art style. As you all know, the beanmouth art style is the worst thing to happen to animation ever. It is one of the most cheap and awful art styles ever created. Okay, it's, as well. But even with the $30 million, it seems that so many people are sick of the beanmouth art style that only made $5 million. Okay, I think if Ruby Gillman didn't have the beanmouth art style, it would have opened to $20 million. Because look at the movies that's coming out against. Dial of Destiny, box office failure. Okay, no one went to go see that movie. Okay, that movie's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars for Disney. Okay, Elemental, The Flash, two of the biggest box office failures of the year. Transformers: Rise of the Beast, another movie that is not going to make too much money. But we'll probably make a lot of money through foreign revenue and merchandise that movie will probably still somehow make money at the end. The Little Mermaid remake was worth $100 million for Disney. And Spider-Verse as well. Okay? Ruby Gillman proves that not every animated movie is a surefire hit. Okay? And, that is true. Not every movie is a surefire hit. Not every movie is going to be watched. But Ruby Gillman is especially egregious for DreamWorks. It's because they practically spoiled the whole movie in the trailers. Hollywood needs to stop doing this stuff as well. Okay, first of all, the beanmouth art style turned off a lot of people. Okay, which a lot of people said they weren't going to see this movie because they don't like the art style. Oh, it's because they don't like the beanmouth art style, because it's, you have the big YouTubers, of course, they think they can control the discourse of popularity of things, but they don't really. Okay, and all these big YouTubers got angry because people don't like Turning Red's art style. And all these articles are being made, and all these big YouTubers like, how dare you not like Turning Red's art style? How dare you not like the beanmouth art style they've been forcing upon you for the past decade? Okay, Puss in Boots didn't have beanmouth. Oh, we made $500 million. Oh, Mario didn't have no freaking beanmouth. Made $1.3 billion. Elemental beanmouth lost money. Ruby Gillman, beanmouth, lost money. Simple as that. Okay? And, it's just so funny that the movies with the beanmouth art style, no one went to go see. Oh, Spider-Verse, $600 million. No beanmouth. Okay? No beanmouth. People went to go see it. Okay? Bad Guys even underperformed. And guess what? It was a beanmouth movie. But I think it also included the Spider-Verse art style kind of saved the movie from being a total failure, like Ruby Gillman is. Okay? Because at least the Bad Guys has a good aesthetic and a good art style, despite using the beanmouth art style at certain points for most of the movie. So, yeah. The movie Ruby Gillman just looks like Turning Red, Luca. Movies that people didn't really all too like. Especially Turning Red. Turning Red was basically the movie that killed Pixar. I think Turning Red was the movie that killed Pixar. And then, and right, it was a nail to the coffin of Pixar. It was hitting the nail. Okay? And right, it didn't even have a beanmouth art style. That was the funny thing. But again, Disney animation just continues to fail at this point. Okay? But Ruby Gillman, no one is going to see this movie. This movie is currently at a $160 million loss for DreamWorks. Okay, which is sad because if you look at this movie, the story looks kind of interesting. Most media portrays mermaids as, thanks to Disney, as nice creatures, whether it's in folklore or not. Okay, it was one of those twist movies. Well, the Krakens, which are supposed to be the evil creatures that are portrayed often as, evil creatures that sink ships. It's one of the mermaids that really do it. And, it's just so sad that the whole went to go see this movie. But again, not too surprising. It's a beanmouth movie. Okay, people are sick of the beanmouth. People are sick of this art style. Beanmouth is associated with mediocrity, and Hollywood's gonna warn us the hard way. Elio's gonna bomb, right? Elemental already dead, and Ruby Gillman's gonna lose money. Okay, this is just a nail in the coffin for beanmouth. Okay, these two box office failures is a nail in the coffin for this art style. Okay, and why it needs to end. Okay. Yeah. And DreamWorks' last two movies were successful. They were successful movies. Okay. I think we're going to have more Spider-Verse art style-esque movies. Or go back to the quote-unquote realistic art style. Not the Beanmouth. Beanmouth is a failed art style and has been a failed art style. And yes, not everything with the Beanmouth is awful. Okay, Gravity Falls was a really good show. It has a Beanmouth art style. Gumball was a pretty good show. It has Beanmouth in it. But I think those are one of the only two, exceptions to it. But even then, Gumball and Gravity Falls were more unique. It had unique characters, unique stories, unique art style, and unique aesthetics to them. Ruby Gillman just looks like Turning Red and Luca. It looks bland and generic and uninteresting as well. And this movie, is a failure. No one went to go see it. Guess what? No one went to go see another Beanmouth movie because no one wants to go. It's just, yeah. And people talk about, but this is supposed to be the counter programming to the Little Mermaid remake. And those people say, but Rotten Tomatoes. No, people didn't want to see the movie even before the Rotten Tomatoes score released. People knew this movie was going to be bad just based off the trailers. Okay? Just based off the trailers. The art style. The outright spoiling the twist in the story. Okay? This movie is a massive, massive failure as well. Okay? This is the worst opening for DreamWorks in history. And DreamWorks is going to probably warn, maybe, if they don't warn that Beanmouth is the problem, and is associated with mediocrity, and people don't like this art style, then there's something wrong with DreamWorks and Pixar. Because Pixar is going down the drain with Beanmouth. They're doubling down, tripling down with all the movies and shows with Beanmouth, Elemental, that weird baseball show. You have that Elio movie coming out. Okay. And it's just an ugly art style. People don't like the Beanmouth art style. Okay. And if this doesn't show Hollywood that people don't like this art style, then I don't know what will. Okay. We have clear winners of animation this year. Mario and Spider-Verse. So Spider-Verse is looking to win Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, most likely. I don't see any other movie beating Spider-Verse. Okay. I don't think Spider-Verse is going to be beaten. Which means Spider-Verse will win the uncontested Best Animated Feature twice. Okay. But, people are sick of the Beanmouth. People are sick and tired of it. And I think we might finally see a change in animation. Okay. We might finally see a change in animation to be going away from this generic Beanmouth art style. Because Beanmouth, people are sick and tired of it. I do not like the fact that people were able to review this movie before the movie came out. But the 6 out of 10 reviews is not too surprising. Most people just thought this movie was just mediocre to begin with. Okay. As well. And the fandom is going to cry over the internet that this movie is going to lose money. And they'll probably never get a sequel to Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken as well. So overall, this movie is another failure as well. Even though modern animation has been releasing a lot of really great movies, we still have some Beanmouth crap that we have to go through. Because Hollywood just can't let go of Beanmouth. Okay, they can't they can't let go of this art style, the Beanmouth art style. Okay? They can't let go of this art style. They just can't. I just don't know why they can't let go of this art style. Okay? Yeah. They just can't let go of it. But again, this is a surefire message from the audiences that we don't like. Beanmouth. Goodbye.